Hello, my name is George Lindsay, a long-term member of the Rotary Club of Coatbridge, Airdrie and the Monklands. This series of very short videos is designed to give you an idea of what our Rotary Club is about, hopefully spark an interest in you and reassure you that if you want to join us, you'll be given a very warm welcome. I hope it is of interest to you. First of all, let me try to explain what Rotary is about. And it's very simple really. What we try to do is a little bit of good, particularly for charitable causes in our local communities. We do that all together as a club. Specific teams within the club take forward individual projects, and individual Rotary members also make their contribution within these particular teams. And they do so by choosing the projects of greatest interest to them and contributing as much or indeed as little as their circumstances allow. It's a good club, it's interesting, it's good fun, and it's also very satisfying when the projects which we've become involved with come to fruition and you get a sense of having achieved something for people in our local communities. The next set of short videos will explain a little bit more detail about some of the projects which we become involved with. Okay. One of the projects we've been involved with for a long period of time now is the Monklands Talking newspaper. One of its beauties is the simplicity of the idea. Basically, you can imagine that people who are blind, or indeed people who have got Parkinson's disease and have got trouble in turning over the pages of a newspaper, find it very difficult to read in the local newspaper and keep up to date with all that's going on in Airdrie and Coatbridge. A good band of volunteers meet every Thursday to read out articles from the Airdrie and Coatbridge Advertiser onto memory sticks, and these memory sticks are then sent to blind and people with Parkinson's disease so we can hear what the local newspaper is saying. It's really as simple as that. The good thing as well is that your commitment to that doesn't need to be big. Most of us get involved with this, perhaps reading for one session every 2 or 3 months. So perhaps 2 hours at a time every 2 or 3 months. It's still good though, and it does a lot of good for the local community. One of our members, Gavin Gordon, runs a golf competition every year, usually in May. This is one of our most important fundraising events of the year, and of course all the money which is raised gets dispersed to local charitable causes. Usually we try to support perhaps 10 or 12 local causes to the tune of £200 each throughout the year. Our thinking these days is that if we can find causes where £200 makes a difference to them, we're very happy to do that, rather than make more substantial contributions to big charities where that might not make too much of a difference to them. Although a golf competition sounds simple, there is of course an awful lot of work behind the scenes in terms of running raffles, collecting all the prizes for it, totting up all the scores and handing out prizes to the winners, etc. It's a good day. We're usually blessed with good weather, and we've got a very loyal bunch of participants who come not only from Airdrie and Coatbridge but from all over Scotland to join us on that day. If you'd want to become involved because that's of interest to you, you'll be very welcome, and it's a good thing to be doing. Another way in which we fundraise is via our annual Burns Supper. We're very lucky to have Willie Devoy as a member of our Rotary Club, and Willie, as perhaps many people know, is a true Burns aficionado. He knows how to put on a very good night, and he's both the performer and the organiser of our Burns Supper. Perhaps unusually, we hold our Burns Supper in February each year, 2 or 3 weeks after the traditional Burns season. But there's method to the madness there, and the reason is that most of the very good Burns speakers are so busy just round about the time of Burns' birthday that we cannot book them. So we wait until 2 or 3 weeks later, and then they come along for a final fling of the year and always put on a very good show. It's one of our very successful fundraisers each year, and of course all the money raised gets dispersed to local and international charities. Another project which has been on the go for 40 years or more with the local Rotary clubs is the Young Musician of the Year competition. Janet McGill has run this very successfully for the last several years. It involves inviting the music departments from all the local secondary schools to nominate individuals who can take part in a concert on a night which is judged to see who the best musician is. And there are different sections. There's vocals, there is brass, percussion, piano, woodwind. So we get a broad range of participants, all giving a very broad range of music too, from Scottish type music to fiddles to pop music and to classical music. It's a great night both for the participants and for the audience and for their parents. One of the other good things about it is that the winners of our local competition then go forward to an area-wide competition and indeed to a Scotland-wide level, and we've had even some success where Scotland participants from our local community have gone on to represent us at a national competition. So it's a great thing to do. Although Janet leads this project for us locally, every member of the Rotary Club can become involved if they wish, because of course there's always a lot of work to do in terms of organising behind the scenes, and if that's the type of thing that takes your interest, then you'll be very welcome to make a contribution. One of the most important things we've become involved with in the past 2 or 3 years is a project called Up Lancashire. Again, it's very simple but very effective. And what it involves is Rotarians working in partnership with their friends, their families, with local churches, anybody they know who might wish to donate warm winter coats, gloves, hats, scarves, waterproofs, etc. to those who are in need over the winter period. We've been successful in collecting literally thousands of coats over the last 2 or 3 years. Of course, it's no use collecting these coats unless we've got an effective way of getting them out to people who are in need. So we work very closely in partnership with, for instance, Diamonds in the Community, with the Airdrie School Uniform Bank, with St Augustine's Outreach, who have got excellent links to the local community and can take in the quotes that we gather in and disperse them out into the local community so that those who need them can get ready access to them. It's a great project, very simple in its execution, but very effective, and it helps people in a very practical way over the winter period. Another project which we've run now for the past 7 or 8 years is hosting a charitable Christmas lunch for people the week or two before Christmas. Of course, Christmas is a very happy and social time, but we've got to realise that for many people in our community, they may be lonely or may have reason to be sad around about Christmas time. So we host a Christmas lunch for perhaps 100 or 120 people who are in these situations. This year it's going to be in the Coatbridge Indoor Bowling Club down here in Quarry Street in Coatbridge. We'll put on a Christmas lunch and we'll put on some entertainment as well for those that come along. Will also be some jokes to be told and some community singing as part of that entertainment. It's a simple thing, 2 to 3 hours on an afternoon a few days before Christmas, but it really does make a difference to those who might otherwise be a bit sad and lonely at that time, and it's a good thing to become involved with. Again, as with everything, there's a lot of work behind the scenes, and any member of our Rotary Club who wishes to become involved will be very welcome to make a contribution. Although these videos have described a lot of the projects we are involved with, it's important to note that we also meet each Monday night here at the Coatbridge Indoor Bowling Centre in Quarry Street in Coatbridge. We meet every Monday because it keeps us together, it gives us a bond, and what we have is a small buffet meal, quite a simple meal, and we also have a lot of interesting speakers sometimes from charitable causes and sometimes just of a general interest. It's a social experience, it's interesting, it's good fun, and we also plan the projects we're going to be involved with at these meetings. If you want to come along, please do so. We meet, as I say, virtually every Monday at 6:30 here in Coatbridge Indoor Bowling Club. You'll be made very welcome. You'll quickly come to understand what a Rotary Club is about and see if it's for you. I hope it is, and I can assure you that if you're keen to become involved, we'll be very keen to have you as a member.
Have a look at our Facebook page and website where you'll find more information. Thank you. Many meetings are recorded on Zoom and you'll find these on our Facebook page.